I'm Todd.
And I'm Amy.
And welcome back to Creative Side DIY,
where every dollar we make goes towards paying our daycare bill.
Yep, and we'd also like to raise awareness to the daycare affordability crisis in America. Daycare in our state costs more than in-state tuition at a lot of the public colleges in North Carolina.
And according to an article from Axios Charlotte, from 1993 to 2018, the inflation-adjusted cost of childcare grew 41%, the highest of any household expense.
Yeah, which is nuts. So if you're a person that has children and you know that paying the daycare bill is very hard for you every month, then maybe going into furniture flipping or picking up a side hustle like this will help you take care of that bill. So I just want to remind you to smash the like button, subscribe to our channel, and hit the notification bell so that you get all of our future videos coming out.
In today's video, we are taking a dresser we already had that had been previously painted, and we found a matching nightstand that has not been painted. So we're starting with this mismatched set, and we're gonna end up selling them as a pair for a quick, easy flip.
Leave us a comment about our video and our flip, and if you have any suggestions for us, please leave them. We'd love to grow and get better at our skills that we're building here. So your comments always help us grow. So we really appreciate you, and thank you for subscribing to our channel. All right, sanding this bad boy down. Got 220 on here, and whenever you put your sanding pad on, make sure it covers the entire pad on your sander, because if any of it is showing on the sides, you're going to get it rubbed down, and then it's no longer going to stick to your actual piece of sandpaper.
For this dresser, it was already painted a couple years ago, and we want to repaint it another color. So we're just doing a little scuff sanding. We're going over the whole surface of the dresser to try to break up the finish and get out any little nicks and scratches so that we have a blank canvas to start with. We are not trying to go all the way down to the wood because, again, we are going to paint it again. So here Todd is using a 220 grit sandpaper. Now that it's all been sanded, of course we want to have all of that sanding dust gone, so give it a really good wipe down. We like to use a towel and also a tack cloth.
So the corner of this dresser has seen better days. You can see it's pretty damaged there. At this point, it has already been sanded down. So what I'm doing here is starting to mix up my wood filler with the hardener. And the reason why we sand it down first is we want the wood filler to grab onto the wood and not anything else, so that the repair that we're doing is a permanent repair and not a temporary one, so that whoever buys this from us, it will last them for a very long time and they'll be able to enjoy this piece for a very long time. So you may be thinking this looks pretty rough, and that's because it is. Leave it high so that you can sand it down to a smooth point. If you get too low, you're going to leave a little divot in the wood. So I'm starting with a 150 on this. Don't want to get it too much knocked off. We got to keep it smooth so we have a nice thin coat with no bumps. One thing I did here is there were some chunks sticking out, and instead of just swiping them right off, it could have pulled out what we put in, some of that filler we put in. I just kind of pressed into the wood as I was sanding instead of pulling away, so it didn't pull the filler out. Now it's just a matter of smoothing it all out and filling it each time just to make sure there's not a bump. So I have a bump on this side, but this side is smooth now, so I'm going to quit messing with that because it's good to go. And I'm just going to sand the side that has a little ridge.
Moving on to the nightstand, first step, take off all the hardware and keep it in a plastic bag so it all stays together.
ready for sanding. So I just want to show you here, if you see the little lines in the wood, you can feel those. We were hoping that you could not feel those, but you can. So we're going to have to sand down the front of these drawers. This is the only place this is happening. So I'm going to go ahead and cut these down pretty good. So I'm going to start with an 80, and then after I finish with the 80, I'm going to go back over it with a 220 to smooth it out. I switched out the 80 grit sandpaper to the 220. So now we are going to smooth it out so that when we paint, you won't see any divots in the wood. Sanding complete.
Since we're planning to paint both these pieces white, and we're starting with one finish that's blue and one finish that is the original wood, we're definitely going to put on a coat of primer first. So we're using this bin primer that blocks stains, and that will just get us off to a good start. Now a quick sand before we put on the actual white paint. What do you think? How did I do? Is it smooth?
It's paint time, so we're rolling on our first coat of paint here. It took us 2 coats and then also some touch-ups before we could put on our top coat.
So we already had this dresser and we spent $40 on a nightstand that we thought we could make match it. And then about $20 on paint.
Yep, so we're all in for $60, and then we listed it for $300, and we had so many people message us about it. I mean, it was getting, I think we had over 30 messages about it in like 6 hours. So we ended up selling it for full price and plus a delivery fee for $30 because it's all the way on the other side of town. So we sold it for a total of $330, making our profit on this one $270. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit the notification bell so that you get our next video that comes out and you can see our next flip. You're actually not going to want to miss it. It's a really cool flip, so check it out.